Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today, me and my partner will present about our senior design project, which is smoke and fire alert system using short messaging services. My partner Muhammad Irfan bin Muhammad Azwi, matric number TC 18040, and me Muhammad Zikri bin Zamzuri, matric number TC 18069. Our supervisor is Dr. Nur Intan Syafinas binti Muhammad. The outline for this presentation is, firstly, we got the introduction and objective, then literature review. After that, research design, then implication, reference list, and overall project planning. The introduction. Fire alarm system is a necessary device that is an obligation for all building set up in Malaysia for safety purpose. The installation of the alarm system should comply to the guideline and procedures which are regulated by the Malaysia Fire and Rescue Department. Many fire occurrence are result of lack of awareness about how to avoid fire using equipment installed in the building, such as alarm, fire alarm, smoke sensors, and water sprinkler. The objective of our project is to develop the programming code for the smoke and fire alert system using SMS. To design a smart detection system for an early emergency response when the fire occurs. Next is to evaluate the performance and accuracy of the fire and smoke alert system. Then lastly is to determine the efficiency of the whole system. The problem statement for our project is there are no early notification about the occurrence of fire inside the building. The second problem statement is people died suffocated in smoke during the fire incidents. The third problem is alarm detection system does not detect the fire incident really fast. Last problem is there are no backup power supply when the main power cut off due to the fire occurrence. These are the news header for the fire cases in Malaysia. 5 dead in a family during the fire occurrence. Next is the statistic of the fire tragedy from January to June 2020. There are 69 people dead, 223 people injured, and 588 people has been saved during the period of 6 months. There are 1.2 million people, 1.2 million ringgit is spent to cover up the fire occurrence. Then the scope of study for our project is to Firstly is to design and fabricate a smoke and fire alert system using SMS notification system. Then the second is to programming smoke and fire alert system using SMS with C++ language. The third scope of study is to design a safety system with a backup power supply generated by solar panel. Last scope of study is to determine the efficiency of the system by using a 110 scale testing prototype. Next is the literature review for our project. The first literature review is from the journal titled Arduino-based home fire alarm system with GSM module. Design of a home fire alarm with Arduino-based system by means of GSM module. It uses an Arduino Uno board to control a home fire alarm triggered by a temperature sensor, and the user will receive an alert message through short message service, or as known as SMS, via the GSM module. The second literature review is from the journal titled Fire Detectors Design of an Automated Quick Responsive Fire Alarm System based on SMS. Review of existing fire detector types with the development of a low-cost, portable, and reliable microcontroller based on automated fire alarm system. The system was designed to alert the distant property owner efficiently and quickly by sending a short message as known as SMS via the SM network. Next is the law that is can relate with our project, which is Street Drainage and Building Act 1974 under Uniform Building Pahang Bylaws 1996. In the bylaws 200 to 26, detecting and extinguishing fire. Every building shall be provided with means of detecting and extinguishing fire with fire alarm together with illuminated exit sign in accordance with the requirement as specified in the 10th schedule to these bylaws. Every building shall be served by at least one fire hydrant located not more than 91.5 meters from the nearest point of fire brigade access. Depending on the size and location of the building and the provision of access for fire appliance, additional fire hydrant shall be provided as may be required by the fire authority. The last literature review is from the journal titled The Experimental Investigation of Using carbon monoxide sensor to detect the smoldering fire in dwellings. The test enclosure. The testing was carried out in a space that resembled a normal room in a home, such as a bedroom, and the proportions were in accordance with ISO 9705. To ensure repeatability, the door opening was kept closed during the experiment to prevent fire gas ventilation. The test room was constructed in accordance with ISO 9705. The room is 8.6 meters square in size and has a capacity of 20.7 meter cube. There is a door opening on one of the end walls that was kept closed during the test. A bed mock-up was placed in the room.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Irfan bin Muhammad Azri and I will be the second presenter. And I will continue this presentation with the methodology of the project. Okay, here is the project flowchart, which is the project flow. First, we start with the design of the circuit and the testing model using the Microsoft Visio for the circuit and the SketchUp Pro for the testing model. And next, we will assemble the module and the hardware, such as the component such as the Arduino Uno, the GSM module, the solar panel, and the other sensors. And next, we will develop the programming code for all the system using the C++ language. And we will test the programming code, whether is there any error or not. And if all the code pass, we will develop the programming code for the whole system. Okay, next we will install the sensor on the 110 scale testing model. And we will test the functionality of the system, whether is all the sensor is run properly or not. And if it all pass, the system will be determined as well functioned and safe to use. And that's the end of the project flow. Okay, next, this is the programming flowchart, which is start when the fire broke out, the smoke and the heat will trigger the fire sensor module and the smoke sensor. Next, it will split into two parameter measure, which the temperature. The temperature reach the 40 degrees Celsius, and for the smoke concentration reach 300 ppm. ppm stands for parts per million. And if all the parameter is considered as reach its limit, it will send a signal to the microcontroller, which are the Arduino Uno, informing that the high temperature and high smoke concentration. Okay, next, the Arduino will notify the GSM module as well as the LCD display. And here is the process that happen in the Arduino, which the GSM module will send a SMS to the user. The LCD will display the fire alert or any other info that we include, and the buzzer will trigger. Okay, that's the end for the programming. Okay, here are the schematic wiring diagram for our project. That consists of the smoke, the fire, the buzzer, the GSM, and the LCD. Also our power supply, which are the battery and the solar panel that controlled by the solar power manager. And here we supply the Arduino with 5 volt of power from the solar power manager. Okay, that's all for the schematic wiring diagram. Okay, here our design of the testing model, the 110 scale, with the height of 750 mm from the bottom until the top, with a width of 240 mm and the length of 360 mm. And this measurement is from a real scale room, 110 scale. Okay, here our list of material, which are the solar panel, the GSM module, the LCD, the flame module sensor, our main controller, the Arduino Uno R3, the solar power manager, the jumper cable for the Arduino, the smoke sensor, the MQ02, the buzzer, the lithium-ion battery, the LiPo, the acrylic sheet with as the main body of the testing model, the aluminum profile and the L bracket for the frame of the testing model. Okay, here is the project costing, and we sum all of the component and we get roughly around 237.50. Okay, here is the project timeline SDP1. From the week 1 until the week 13, from the first SDP1 briefing seminar until the final proposal submission. Okay, and this is our project timeline SDP2. From week 1 until week 13, for the preparing equipment and material for the project until the thesis and project report submission. Okay, this is the implication for our project. The first one is to create an affordable safety system that can be commercialized for residential. Because for our system, it considered as affordable because for smoke and fire system alone, it costs around 140 for a single device. It without include the GSM SMS notification module. Okay, next is dependable, sustainable, and standalone safety system. Because our project is off-grid, means it's not connected into the grid. It's solely supplied by the battery, the lithium-ion battery, and with a backup supply of the solar panel that monitored by the solar power manager. And lastly, this project is able to be customized, the system configuration based on the customer demand. That means we can all this project is fully controlled by the coding. Means we can change whether depend on the customer demand, whether the customer want to change the temperature, the smoke concentration, the information display on the LCD display, or the notification on the SMS. Okay, here are the sources that we use for our reference. Okay, that's all from our group. Thank you.